In my childhood, when I loved Chiranjeevi Garu's films, once we walked into a theater, he became that Raju. He became that whoever.
Exactly.
Played.
ఓకే, నానీస్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ విత్ ద హాలీవుడ్ రిపోర్టర్. నాకు నాని గారి ఇంటర్వ్యూస్ అన్ని కూడా చాలా చాలా ఇష్టం. చాలా యునిక్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ పర్స్పెక్టివ్ లో ఉంటాయి అనమాట. అండ్ ఆల్సో ద వే హీ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ స్టఫ్ ఈస్ రియలీ రియలీ గుడ్. సో హిట్ 3 వచ్చేస్తుంది. సో దాని తగ్గట్టుగా ఒక ఇంటర్వ్యూ చేశారు. సో లెట్స్ వాచ్ ఇట్ అండ్ లెట్స్ చూసేద్దాం. నేను ముందే చెప్పేస్తున్నా, ఈ వీడియోలో నేను మధ్య మధ్యలో ఆపేసి మాట్లాడుతూ ఉంటాను, ఎందుకంటే కాపీరైట్ వేస్తూ ఉంటారు. అండ్ ఆల్సో ఈ వీడియో ఒరిజినల్ కి ఏ రకంగా కూడా రిప్లేస్మెంట్ కాదు, చెప్పాలయ్యా. బట్ స్టిల్, సో వితౌట్ ఎనీ డిలే లెట్స్ స్టార్ట్.
We always in cinema we talk like audience are some separate entity. The moment we think we are cinema and they are audience, I think that is when we lose that connection with them.
Okay.
If I'm shooting for 24 hours and if I'm hung on ropes and I'm doing an action sequence, I don't feel tired coming back home. 3 hours in dubbing, I go back home tired. A lot of people write stories, but they don't see it like a movie in their head. They see it like a story in their head. I look for people who see it like a movie in their head. So right now there's some heat with watching films in the first day and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I hope it calms down very soon and actors get to go enjoy the film with fans, because that's what we make films for.
Nani, welcome to the Hollywood Reporter India.
Welcome to Hyderabad. Welcome to our place. Yeah.
I love it. I love that we're sitting in front of Poe.
Oh, correct.
Who is
all the life lessons for me come from Poe.
Really?
Everything, ma'am. Everything. I think a lot of times when I'm little, low or feeling down about something, I'll just remember a few lines from the film. And no, yeah, cartoon film can inspire, right? One is, there is no secret ingredient. I always think of that. There is nothing. We just need to give our best. We know, there are a lot of times we think we are missing something. Somebody did it right. Something we are missing. No, nothing. Things work. Things don't work. But when things work, we start thinking that there is some secret ingredient. There is absolutely no secret ingredient, is what I feel. It's about you doing your best all the time, and you must believe,
Yes.
which is in the frame. So, if Poe can become a dragon warrior, we all can become anything we want. So there's a lot of life lessons in Kung Fu Panda, I feel. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love
Yeah.
Kung Fu
One of
Panda.
my favorite
Chala,
movies.
chala, chala ishtam
Absolutely.
antaradu.
And listen,
Kung
firstly,
Fu Panda అనేది fourth
congratulations
part
on
బాలేదు.
the success
Thank
of
you.
Court.
Thank you.
State versus a Nobody.
Yeah.
I
Did you
was-
get to watch the film?
I haven't seen it, but I was told,
Please let
Nani,
me know if you can watch today. We'll plan a show.
I would love
the
to
team
see.
will. Oh, yeah, it's
I
a
would
nice
love
film.
to
I'm
see.
sure you'll love it. Yeah.
I was told it's your biggest hit
Yes, it is.
for
The
Wallposter
production.
Cinema.
Yes, it is. It is.
Bigger
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
Hit 2.
It is a in a budget wise, in Wallposter Cinema, it is the smallest, and it's the biggest hit. Every film was a hit in Wallposter, but this is the biggest hit.
Amazing.
Yeah.
ఓకే, ఇద్దరు
Amazing.
మనకి.
Tell, first of all, explain Wallposter, the name to me, Wallposter Cinema.
So for me, I used to stay in a place called Amirpet in Hyderabad, and at that time it was Doordarshan. Just then the cable TV came in, and then weekly when it was Doordarshan, it only Sunday evening we used to get one film. That's all, and no ads or no trailers or nothing. Basically, what film is coming up, or we don't have any clue. They'll put some black and white film on Sunday evening, and we watch it, and we are very happy. And if it was a color film, so we thought it was a new film, and then we were even more happy.
ఓకే.
And I used to walk to my school, which is in SR Nagar, which is 2 kilometers away. And there is a theater called Satyam Theater in Amirpet, and there is a lane behind it through which I used to go. And it's a Friday to Friday theater. Every Friday there's a new release in Satyam Theater. So what really excited me about films were those wall posters in that street.
Okay.
And I still till today, the kind of excitement of wall poster, not a poster digitally or not on phone, nothing. What is on the road on the side, and it says every day 4 shows, Roju Nalgatlu, this this theater Satyam 70 daily 4 shows, 6 p.m., 9 p.m., 2 p.m., 11 p.m. They used to mention that, right? The way that used to excite me to watch the film, I don't think the trailers or teasers or today's whatever social media promotions can do that to me. I remember
Okay.
it was like a wonder. I wanted to see if there is one new poster every single day. And they used to stick all the posters of whichever film is running in and around. And so for me, the kind of interest towards cinema, saying that that's something larger than life, and I someday want to be a part of it, started from a wall poster. So that is the reason we call it wall poster cinema.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
That's so lovely. So, Nani, how do you choose as a producer, right? Because the truth is, the films you've made in Wall Poster are not like those big tentpole movies
No.
led by stars, etc.
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
the
Three-
story of how the
maybe
hit
bigger.
franchise came to you
Mm.
is just bewildering to me. That
Yeah.
Sailesh Konalu is an optometrist in Australia,
Optometrist in Australia, yeah.
and then he sends you an email,
Yeah.
and then you meet,
Yeah.
and you say to him, "Okay, I'll stay in touch," and he comes up with this franchise idea,
Yeah.
and you say you should direct it.
Yeah.
How do you know? Okay, does something tingle when it's a good idea?
Yeah, no, a lot of times I get this question, but thing is, he didn't tell me it is a franchise or anything initially. So we
One film.
slowly, one film, one idea, and then once we made it, then we got this idea of why not make it a franchise. See, what's the problem with franchise films generally? You need to get that actor only every time you want to make a film, and it becomes very difficult sometimes. They might look very different after a couple of years.
They might be too expensive.
Too expensive. They might be occupied. They might not be available. But then the filmmaker and the production house has to wait. So when we set up a world like HIT, Homicide Intervention Team, it's a fictional department.
I'm saying it wrong. It should be HIT, not
HIT. No, we call it HIT, but because it's a short form, whatever.
Correct.
But it's HIT basically, and it's a department.
Yeah.
It's a fictional department. So, and now we actually have a chance of, now there is Telangana HIT, there is Andhra HIT, and soon in future when we
Expand.
We fly to the different areas, we'll start Tamil Nadu HIT, we'll start Kerala HIT, we'll start Mumbai HIT. So the options are open. You can do anything with it, and so it'll be the day when we reach a point, and then we can bring all of them together. It'll be the Avengers of. Yeah,
Okay.
and there's a possibility we saw.
cops.
Yeah, of cops,
Yeah.
Avengers of cops, and they are all from whichever
Department,
that particular part, whichever place it's located in, it'll be that case.
Yeah.
But then we can give this one a huge finale in the end where we'll bring everyone together into the. That was the idea initially when I started off. It is going in the right direction as of now. So yeah, and also it is not. I don't look for anything in particular at all. No.
అంటే లెట్ మీ కంప్లీట్ అని వేరే పాయింట్ చెప్తున్నాను కాబట్టి అంటే నాకు ఎట్లా అనిపిస్తుంది అంటే హిట్ ఆల్రెడీ వాళ్ళు స్టార్ట్ చేసినప్పుడు విక్రమ్ రుద్రరాజ్ అనుకుంటా, ఐ ఫర్గాట్ హిస్ నేమ్, లైక్ విశ్వక్సేనర్ క్యారెక్టర్ నాకు చాలా ఇష్టం ఆ క్యారెక్టర్, అండ్ ఆ సినిమా కూడా బాగా నచ్చుతుంది. క్లైమాక్స్ బట్టి ఇచ్చేసే వేరే విషయం. సెకండ్ వాజ్ ఓకే అంటే లైక్ అడవిశేష్ ఓకే ఇది కొంచెం డిఫరెంట్గా ఉంటుంది. తర్వాత వీ కెన్ సీ దట్ ఓకే స్కేల్ అండ్ ఆల్సో ఇన్ టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ టోన్ కూడా చాలా చేంజ్ చేస్తున్నారని చెప్పేసి నాకు కొంచెం డౌట్లు ఉండే. సో వెన్ నాని కేమ్ కథం ఆబ్వియస్లీ టీజర్ చూసిన మనము మైండ్ పోయింది. డెఫినెట్లీ ఇట్స్ మోర్ ఆన్ ద క్యారెక్టర్ దాన్ ద కేస్ మేబీ తెలియదు, ప్రస్తుతం నేను టీజర్ చూసి మాట్లాడుతున్నా. సో ఎట్లుంటుంది చూడాలి ఒకటి. అండ్ ఆల్సో ఇప్పుడు వచ్చే ఫోర్త్ది వేరే లాంగ్వేజ్ నుంచి ఇంకొక యాక్టర్ని తీసుకుందాం అనుకుంటారు. హీఈస్ ఆల్సో వెరీ ఫేమస్, పాపులర్ అండ్ ఆల్సో కైండ్ ఆఫ్ బిగ్ స్టార్, అదొకటి ఉంది. సో మేబీ దుల్కర్ కావచ్చు, సూర్య ఏమో తెలియదు కానీ సో ఇట్లా వాళ్ళు ప్లాన్ చేస్తున్నారు. ఫోర్త్ వాట్ ఈస్ ఆఫీసర్ కూడా చెప్పేసి ఈ యూనివర్స్ ఏదైతే ఉందో నేను అంత పెద్ద ఫ్యాన్ని కాదు, ఎందుకంటే లైక్ ప్రతి సినిమా వర్క్ అవుతేనే నెక్స్ట్ సినిమా మీద ఎక్సైట్మెంట్ ఉంటుంది. పెద్ద సినిమా ఇది అండ్ ఆల్సో ఖచ్చితంగా ఉంటుంది పాపులారిటీ సెకండ్ సినిమాకి వెళ్ళడానికి లేదంటే థర్డ్ సినిమాకి వెళ్ళడానికి, ఇది ఆడకపోయినా కానీ. బట్ డెఫినెట్లీ ఆ యూనివర్స్ అనే దానికి చాలా వర్క్ ఉండాలి అండ్ ఆల్సో ఆ టోన్ ఉండాలి, చాలా కష్టపడాలి. అండ్ ఆల్సో అది చాలా రోజులు నడుస్తుంది కాబట్టి ఒక్కొక్క సినిమా ఖచ్చితంగా బాగుంటూ వెళ్ళాలి. స్టోరీ యాజ్ అ హోల్ బాగుండాలి, ప్రతి సినిమా నచ్చాలి. సో అట్లా నాకు కొంచెం డౌట్ పడతాయి అనమాట. అండ్ శైలేష్ గారి మీద ఇంకా అంత కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ అయితే రాలేదు నాకు. సో చూద్దాం, హిట్ 3 చాలా బాగుంటాయి, హ్యాపీయే. సో చూద్దాం. సారీ,
These are not. I just try to sense if the guy who's narrating me has understanding of does he have a vision? Is he seeing the film, or is he? Now a lot of people write stories,
ఓకే,
but they don't see it like a movie in their head. They see it like a story in their head. I look for people who see it like a movie in their head.
Even if they're a doctor in Australia.
Yeah, and if he's seeing it like a movie, there is a filmmaker in him.
ఓకే.
And even if someone who worked in cinema for so many years, and if he's seeing it like a story, then there's only a writer in him, not a filmmaker. So whenever I through wall poster or myself as an actor, introduced a maximum number of directors in Telugu in this generation. Our seniors did way more, but so I genuinely feel that is what I've always looked for, and that for me, a lot of times, even in my career, a lot of people used to be confused. Why are you working with him? Even a lot of times I worked with someone who delivered a disaster, and when I was in a, you know, I had back-to-back hits, and I had a lot of successful directors options where they were pitching. I would pick someone who just delivered a disaster, not because he delivered a disaster, because I'm believing in what he said and how he said it. So a lot of times my people around me used to be very worried about my choices, but now they don't complain at all now after all this.
Antega,
know-
Antega.
know what you're doing.
Yeah, at least that's what they believe for now. I hope I'll not, screw it up. But yeah, so there is no set formula of how I think or how I understand. It's just a gut feeling that I think this guy can make this film, and I'll always look for that little. Because I've grown up watching films in theater. I understand the theater's energy like audience only. Like, I'm not saying I'm not some pro at it. I think I'm a good audience. I've watched films with audience, and I know, for example, a lot of people thought Court is a very offbeat, arty because of the idea or whatever, and they thought that it's not a theatrical film; it's a OTT film. A lot of people in my office itself, they thought, "Sir, who will come to
Yeah,
theater
అంటే
nowadays
లైక్
for a small
నాకు కూడా కొంచెం స్టార్టింగ్ వీళ్ళు పోస్టర్లు కొంచెం చూపించినప్పుడు ఏంట్రా ఆయన ఫీలింగ్ వచ్చిండే, బట్ యా డెఫినెట్లీ అగ్రీ.
film, idea film like this?" I walked out of the edit room and I said it'll be a blockbuster.
Really?
Yeah, it'll be a blockbuster. I said, no, we'll if we don't have to like say, use Wallposter brand or my name and sell this film. If nobody is, showing too much interest in it, let us do it ourselves. And I'm telling you, it'll be a very big
Own
hit.
release
So everybody
చేసుకున్నారు.
thought, sir is just being too positive about it or whatever. But today, it actually exceeded my expectations also. So I think it's very important to be, if not calculations and how it will work, what it will work, then we'll always do wrong. If we can just understand that core audience in us, and we always in cinema we talk like audience are some separate entity. No, we are supposed to be them, okay? And that is when I think the moment we think we are cinema and they are audience, I think that is when we lose that connection with them. And I try to preserve that, because that's what made me come in cinema, that's what made me love cinema, and how I can never not look at myself as audience. So yeah, that is what makes me choose films.
But
రియలీ గుడ్
Nani,
ఆన్సర్. అండ్ ఆబ్వియస్లీ లైక్ కోడ్ బికేమ్ సచ్ అ బిగ్ హిట్. డెఫినెట్లీ నాకు కూడా ఫస్ట్ స్టార్టింగ్ వీళ్ళు పాక్స్ అనేసరి ఇంట్రెస్ట్ పెరిగింది. అంతకుముందు వరకు కూడా ఏదో చిన్న సినిమా సో వాల్ పోస్టర్ సినిమా ఆల్రెడీ ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ దేర్ నేమ్ గ్యారంటీగా. బట్ హిట్ 2 నాకు అంత బాగా నచ్చలేదు. తర్వాత వచ్చే సినిమాస్ ఓకే అని ఫీలింగ్, అంటే లైక్ ఎప్పుడు ఏమొస్తుంది కోర్ట్ అని ఒక సినిమా వస్తుంది, చిన్న సినిమా కానీ హిట్ 3 ఆల్రెడీ అనౌన్స్ చేశారు, పర్లేదు ఏదో జరుగుతుంది అనుకున్నాను నేను కూడా. బట్ వెన్ ద ట్రైలర్ కేమ్ లైక్ టోటలీ మా బాబు ఖచ్చితంగా థియేటర్లో చూడాల్సిన సినిమారా అని ఫిక్స్ అయ్యి నేను వెళ్ళిపోయాను. నాకు లైక్ ఈవెన్ నానిగారు కాన్ఫిడెన్స్, డెఫినెట్లీ నానిగారి రెప్యుటేషన్, ఆయన పేరు, అండ్ ఆల్సో వాట్ హీ సెట్, కోర్టు నచ్చకపోతే హిట్ 3కి రాకండి అని చెప్పడము, ఇవన్నీ డెఫినెట్లీ సినిమాకి ప్లస్ అయిన గ్యారంటీ. బట్ నాకైతే మాత్రం ద బిగ్గెస్ట్ వెపన్ ఫర్ కోర్ట్ ఈజ్ ద ట్రైలర్. నిజంగా ట్రైలర్ చాలా బాగుంది. సెకండ్ హాఫ్ ఆఫ్ ద ట్రైలర్ ఇంకొంచెం బాగుండాలి అనిపించింది, బట్ స్టిల్ ఫెంటాస్టిక్ ట్రైలర్. దానివల్ల నేను అట్లే చాలా మంది కూడా చూశారు. అండ్ యా man, seriously very happy about it.
with something like HIT, right? The easiest thing in the world would be to make it a franchise for yourself.
Yeah.
Were you not even tempted?
Oh, not at all. Not
Really?
at all. I genuinely don't do anything for myself. I know it might sound very dramatic, but everybody who works for me knows. If there is an opportunity which is something very exciting, I try to how do I say, offer it to someone else before it comes to me.
Okay.
A lot of time there are at least in last 5-6 years, there are few stories which I thought will be blockbusters. I've told my manager, I've told everyone, and I've went and spoke to the filmmaker and spoke to the producer who sent me the filmmaker, saying that not me, this guy will be the best choice for this one, and it will be a blockbuster. And I've attended the pre-release events of the team, and I've told them how confident I am about the film. So somehow I'm not saying this is something great or anything, but that is the love for cinema. I genuinely feel a script or a film decides who, what it wants. And even though a filmmaker wants me, if the script I feel wants someone else, then I will be at it if I think it's a good script. Yeah,
So you would rather see a good
అవుట్
film
ఆఫ్ ఫోకస్ లో
than
తీసిరంటారు
a
ఇంటర్వ్యూ.
medium film with you in it.
correct. Yes, exactly. Because for me, the audience comes first, and if it's a good script, I want to do the best for it, even though if it's not mine or not in my production or whatever. I feel that is my responsibility towards a good script or towards cinema in general. Yeah.
So do those heroes ever say thank you?
Yeah, I think not directly, but yeah, in many ways, yes. Yeah.
Okay, so you described Saripoda as a
శనివారం.
humble action film,
Yeah.
right? How would you describe HIT3?
HIT3 is a very, how do I say? Definitely the violence part is extreme compared to what we
Okay.
have seen in Telugu films. But again, because of the genre, it's not something just for the sake of violence. It is a script which will slowly take you into, it is an investigative thriller. It starts off as an investigative thriller, but it becomes an extraction kind of a film. The stakes get higher and higher and higher, and then it is a I cannot like generalize and say one statement about Hit 3, but I can say it is the massiest film in the Hit franchise.
Yeah.
When I say
Obviously.
massiest, it's not on the regular terms. In the Hit franchise, which are generally the investigative thrillers where it's all about who done it. The earlier films were about who done it, and they start into investigation mode, and then one after one, things start getting revealed, and then in the end scene, you'll know who. Hit 3 is not who. Hit 3 is how.
ఓకే.
So I think it's a very interesting setup. It is now this time. I think the span is much bigger than the earlier films,
ఓకే.
and we have some exciting things in the film which are for the theatrical adrenaline. So I hope it works that way. Yeah.
యా ఓకే, లెట్ మీ జస్ట్ సిచ్యువేషన్ ఏంటంటే నాకు దిస్ వాజ్ వాట్ ఐ ఎక్స్పెక్టెడ్ ఫ్రమ్ సైంధవ్లో ట్రైలర్ చూస్తే అర్థమైపోయాడు వాయేమో దానికి అప్పటికే సెన్సార్ వేసారు. ఐ వాంటెడ్ ఇట్ టు బి అన్సెన్సర్డ్ వర్షన్. మేబీ వాళ్ళు డిసెంబర్లో రిలీజ్ చేసి ఉంటే అన్సెన్సర్డ్ రిలీజ్ చేస్తున్నా లేకపోతే తెలియదు మనకి. అంటే లైక్ సైంధవ్ అనే స్టోరీ నిజంగానే అంత బాగా స్టోరీ అంటే మాత్రం ఐ డోంట్ థింక్ సో, బట్ ది ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ షుడ్ హ్యావ్ మ్యాటర్డ్. అంటే లైక్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఏదైతే వైలెన్స్ చూపిద్దాం అనుకున్నారో, లిటరల్గా నవాజుద్దీన్ సిద్దికి ఒక జార్ మీద లైక్ జారో సంథింగ్ ఇట్లా హెడ్ తీసుకొచ్చి టేబుల్ మీద పెడతాడు. అది ఐ వాంటెడ్ టు వాచ్ ఇట్. ఈవెన్ అతను నరుకుతుంటే టోటల్ స్క్రీన్ బ్లాక్ అయిపోయింది. అవన్నీ నేను చూడాలనే వచ్చిన. అది తీసేసినప్పుడు ఐ లాస్ట్ ద ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్. నాకు అంత బాగా నచ్చలేదు. ఒకవేళ అవి ఉండడం వల్ల సైంధవ్ ఇంకో రకంగా కనిపించేమో మనకి. అప్పటి వరకు మనం ఒక వాట్ ఈస్ ఎమోషనల్ ఫాదర్ డాటర్ రిలేషన్షిప్ విత్ వెరీ వెరీ పెద్ద ప్రాబ్లమ్ అలా చూడకుండా ఒక యాక్షన్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ జాన్ విక్ లేపేస్తారు డెఫినెట్లీ. బట్ ఇంకొక రకంగా చూసేటోళ్ళు మేము ఐ వాంట్ హిట్ 3 టు బీ లైక్ దాట్. అంటే లైక్ టోటల్ ఎలాంటి సెన్సార్కి ఇబ్బంది పడకుండా టోటల్ అవుట్ అండ్ అవుట్ రా ఫిల్మ్ చూపిస్తాం హ్యాపీ. అంతకంటే ఇంకేవద్దు నాకు. అదే కావాలని నేను కూడా కోరుకుంటున్నాను.
Your character, Arjun Sarkar, right?
Okay.
We saw him in Hit
Hit
2,
2.
right? In that
One small cameo. Yeah.
one small cameo, and the other character describes him as a walking nightmare.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In the trailer for this one, he says कि जो officer खतरे में है वो ही खतरा है.
Huh.
Correct? Now obviously
That was the
this-
announcement video of the
that's
project.
the announcement, right? So now obviously this is an unhinged cop. He's beating up people ruthlessly. He's slicing that man in half in the trailer, which was the shot that I was like, oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which honestly, Nani, also made me think about Dayanand in Saripoda, because that's also an unhinged cop,
Correct.
also beating up people ruthlessly, but he's a villain, you're a hero. Like,
గుడ్ క్వశ్చన్.
when is
Really
police
good question.
brutality justifiable? When is it not?
No, it is not justifiable no matter what. We might make a film and we might show our protagonist as whatever. It is not justified for sure. But when the cause is bigger than, now, for example, now in Saripoda, Daya's character didn't have cause. Okay, or he might have
He
a
was
reason.
just greedy.
He is a greedy guy, and
Yeah.
he might have a reason from his childhood why he became like that. That all that will not justify anything.
Yeah.
And in Hit 3, Arjun Sarkar is a little extreme violent, but there is a cause, and the cause is much bigger than. There is a solid purpose, and it is actually what do you say, Uttapadam. He keeps saying that word again and again for whichever reason. He always asks people purpose entry. He goes out on a date
What's
with
your purpose?
what's your purpose? He goes out on a date with a girl and he says purpose entry. And the girl gets irritated and leaves. So he's the guy who actually looks for purpose. So if when he goes in a certain direction and he wants to crack it, he will genuinely believe there will be collateral damage. And he feels that for the bigger purpose, it is okay to have that. We're not justifying that, or we're not saying that it is okay to do that, but he is that guy. He is the guy who believes in it. So, and there are a lot of episodes where it will question his kind of attitude in the film. Is it right or not? So it is, we leave it to the audience. If you still will have a problem with him, but not with what he's working for and which direction he's traveling. So yeah.
యా నాకు ఇట్లాంటి క్యారెక్టర్స్ మీద డెఫినెట్లీ ఐ వాంట్ టాక్ అబౌట్ ఇట్. డెఫినెట్లీ ఇప్పుడు యానిమల్ వచ్చిన తర్వాత అర్జున్ రెడ్డి, కబీర్ సింగ్ అండ్ ఆల్సో ఇప్పుడు హిట్ 3 గురించి మాట్లాడుతున్నారు కాబట్టి ద ప్రాబ్లమాటిక్ సీన్స్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ పీపుల్ డెఫినెట్ విల్ హ్యావ్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్. అంటే లైక్ ఇలా చూపించొద్దు అండ్ ఆల్సో ఇలాంటి సినిమాలు చేయొద్దు, నాని ఇలాంటి సినిమా చేయాలి, టెక్నికల్లీ వస్తే ఇలాంటి ఖచ్చితంగా. నాకు ఇట్లాంటి వాటి మీద థాట్స్ ఏంటంటే ముఖ్యంగా ఇలాంటి సినిమాలు చెయ్యాలి అని చెప్పేసి అడ్డుకట్ట వేయాలని ఎవరు అనుకోవద్దు. డెఫినెట్లీ ఇట్స్ సినిమా, ఇట్స్ వాట్ ఈస్ ఎ పర్సనల్ వ్యూ అండ్ ఆల్సో ఆ డైరెక్టర్ చేశాడు చేయలేదు వేరే విషయం. ఆ సినిమా నుంచి నువ్వు మోరల్ ఎత్తుకోవద్దు. ఆ సినిమాలో చెప్పింది నువ్వు ఏం చేస్తున్నారో దానికి తగ్గట్టుగా అది ఉందా లేదా, అది ఇంపార్టెంట్ అనమాట. డెఫినెట్లీ కొన్ని ఖచ్చితంగా చాలా 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 ఇబ్బంది పెట్టే సీన్స్ కూడా జరుగుతాయి. వాటికి ఖచ్చితంగా ఒక వాటి క్వాలిటీ లీస్ అంటూ ఉండాలి డెఫినెట్లీ. అట్లని చెప్పేసి వాట్ ఈస్ ప్రతి దాన్ని లేదు వీళ్ళు ఖచ్చితంగా ఇలా చూపించేసి జనాల్ని ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్ చేసేస్తున్నారు, ఇలాంటివి చేసేస్తున్నారు, అట్లాంటివి ఈస్ నాట్ హెల్తీ టు టాక్ అబౌట్. ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పుడు యానిమల్లో చూసారు, యానిమల్ ఎక్కడ కూడా వాడు సాధువు, చాలా మంచోడు, ఋషి మహర్షి అన్నట్టు మాట్లాడలేదు. హీఈస్ అన్ యానిమల్. స్టార్టింగ్ నుంచి అలానే చూపించారు. వాడు ఏం చేస్తారో మనకి స్టార్టింగ్ నుంచి చూపిస్తూనే వచ్చారు. అట్లని చెప్పేసి దాన్ని ఎక్కడ జస్టిఫై చేయలేదు. అండ్ ఆల్సో సినిమాలో చూపించింది ఇదేదో జస్టిఫైయబుల్ అయ్యింది కాబట్టి ఇది రియల్ లైఫ్లో కూడా చెయ్యాలి, చేయలేదని చెప్పేసి కూడా ఎవరు ఎండార్స్ చేయొద్దు. సేమ్ హ్యాపెన్స్ హియర్ ఆల్సో. సినిమాని చూసేసేయాలి ఇట్లాంటి విషయాల్లో, లైట్ తీసేసుకోవాలి, అనవసరంగా లాగొద్దు అక్కడ అనమాట. డెఫినెట్లీ మళ్ళీ ఇప్పుడు ఇంకో కొత్త కామెంట్ వస్తుంది ఏంటంటే ఇప్పుడు ఇట్లాంటి కరెక్టే మరి దాని ఏమంటారు దబిడి దిబిడి సాంగ్లో బాలయ్య అలాంటి డాన్స్ స్టెప్పులు ఏంటి అండ్ ఆల్సో శేఖర్ మాస్టర్ అలాంటి స్టెప్పులు ఏంటి. డెఫినెట్లీ ఖచ్చితంగా ఉంటుంది. దానికి సెన్సార్ అంటే ఒకటి ఉంటుంది అనమాట. ఇప్పుడు లెజెస్ హిట్ 3 అలాంటి ఒక సినిమా వచ్చిన యానిమల్ కానీ అర్జున్ రెడ్డి కానీ వాటన్నిటి సెన్సార్ అనే ఒక సిచ్యువేషన్ ఉంది. దాన్ని బట్టేసి రిస్ట్రిక్ట్ చేస్తుంది మీరు ఇలాకండి రావద్దని చెప్పేసి. వెన్ యూ సే దట్ ఇట్స్ అ మాస్ ఫిలిం అని చెప్పేసి వీటికి ఇట్లాంటివి కావాలని చెప్పేసి పెడితే నాకు ప్రాబ్లం వస్తుంది. డెఫినెట్లీ నేను ఆ పర్టికులర్ టార్గెట్ ఆడియన్స్ కావచ్చు, బట్ కొంచెం ఆలోచన చేయాలి వాటిని. అంటే లైక్ యూఆర్ ప్రామిసింగ్ మీ సంథింగ్, దానికి ఎగ్జాక్ట్ ఆపోజిట్గా డిఫరెంట్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ సిచ్యువేషన్ చూపిస్తే ఇప్పుడు నా ప్రాబ్లం వస్తుంది. అంతకంటే ఇంకేం లేదు. అండ్ నా లాజిక్లో తప్పు ఉండొచ్చు, బట్ అది ఆ తప్పేంటో మీరు కూడా చెప్పండి మీకు అనిపిస్తే. అండ్ యా లెట్స్ కంటిన్యూ.
It's definitely justified when it comes to, is this necessary? For that, it is justified. Does he have to be that way? It might not be justified, and he's that way. Either we accept him or not. That's all.
So he's unhinged in a good way,
Yeah.
and Daya is unhinged in
In
a
a
bad
bad way. Yeah.
So for Saripota,
చాలా సింపుల్ గా లేపేసింది కాదు, దానికి చాలా అన్హింజ్డ్ ఇన్ బ్యాడ్ వే ఉండదు, దానికి అంటూ ఉండదు. చాలా పెద్ద రీజన్ ఉంటుంది ఇంకా, బట్ షీ వాంటెడ్ టు మేక్ ఇట్ షార్ట్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్. నాట్ అ గుడ్ ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్ ఆన్ అనుపమాస్ పార్ట్. ఆయన బాగా చేశాడు.
G. Surya did some interviews, and one of them, he said that when you would do a scene together, you had such a good sense of whether that scene has landed, whether the acting is on point, that he would look at you before he looked at the director.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, Nani, where do these instincts come from? Do you think it's because of your years as an AD, or it's because of those walks in front of those wall posters? How do you know?
I think more importantly, understanding the medium of cinema. We still some way, you never completely understand it for sure, but at least if you're honest towards the craft, if you're constantly, if you know you're in love with cinema and you're not trying to see, there are a lot of technicians or actors who will constantly think about what should they do for their careers.
Yeah.
Right? I feel if our love for cinema is intact, then cinema will do what it needs to do for your careers. And to be able to, the moment we start thinking in our own perspective, what should I do? That is when I think we go wrong completely. And what really makes Surya Garu or whoever believe me in location is what I feel, that they feel that love for cinema when I'm working with them, and they know it is. I will not tell it's nice just
If
for
it's
the
not.
sake of it. Yeah, they know it. If it is not working for the shot, it could be whoever, but for the sake of it or for formality, they sometimes they also feel that you know somebody, a director or someone might be hesitating to tell them that they know for sure Nani will tell us, because I'll put cinema above everything and anything. So I think could be that could be the reason, is what I feel, but until you ask them, we will not know the actual answer. Yeah.
You know, at a promotional event for Court, Nag Ashwin said that in the last decade, I've directed 2 films, produced 1. Nani has made 20 films.
Yeah. Yeah.
Introduced just so many directors,
Yeah.
actors.
Yeah.
This fire in the belly that you have, where does it come from, and how do you keep it alight?
See, actually, I think I'm extremely slow compared to the earlier actors like Chiranjeevi Garu and all did so many more films.
But you're doing what, 2 or 3 a year?
I'm doing 2 films a year now.
2 films a
as
year.
of now.
Huh.
And there was time I did 3 films, and I think it's slowly, as the technology is getting better, we're getting slower. The
Okay.
reason is now the people are used to all this,
Quality.
world
In terms
class
of technology.
content and everything, and so everything needs to be taken care of, in a very detailed way. You cannot say, it'll pass off. It won't pass off. So, and especially now people are loving these world building, kind of films, which needs a lot of work, lot of prep, lot of shoot days. If it's to shoot a simple rom-com or a comedy film, you can shoot it very fast. But if you're doing a film like a Paradise or something, which needs a lot of effort, it'll take time. So also it depends on the film. Now Nagi, if he did Evade Subramaniam kind of films back to back, he would have done 8-9 films by now, because he picked up a Mahanati then. Then Mahanati is something, it's period, it's Savitri Garu's biopic, and it took time. And then he picked up Kalki. Now Kalki, even if I do, it has to take that time.
Yeah.
And because of the CG, because of all those elements, and it will take the time. It's not about Nagi or me or anyone. I think it is the kind of setup that film needs and time that film needs. So it is justified for them to do those many films. And for me, till now, to maintain this, I'm someone who doesn't take breaks at all. I don't know what to do when I'm not shooting.
You don't
don't
travel, holidays?
No, I go for travel. Now, for example, I shoot for a couple of months non-stop. I feel like, I need a holiday, I need a break. And I will plan so much, and then I will go land there. And first 2 days, I'm done. From third day, I'll be like, why did I plan 10 days? I should have planned just 4 days. And now I need to go back, and I'll call from there. I'll check on what is happening with the edit or something which I'm not around. And I'll sit in the balcony and note down things which I want to. So it is like that. I genuinely enjoy, being on set. So I think that could be the reason, but it's not like wanting to do many films or anything. It's just that I don't know what else to do. So
Okay, yeah, I want to talk about అయిపోయింది కరెక్టే. What he's talking about is definitely true. ఎందుకంటే లైక్ ఇప్పుడు మనము లెట్స్ జస్ట్ సే ఏదైనా మిడ్ రేంజ్ ఫిల్మ్స్ అయినా కానీ మనము సీజీ కానీ ఆర్ఎల్స్ మొన్న లైలా వచ్చిన ఫ్లాష్ సీన్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ దారుణము. సో డెఫినెట్లీ ఆ దారుణం అనే థాట్ ప్రాసెస్ వస్తుంది చూసారా, లైక్ క్వాలిటీ డెఫినెట్లీ ఇంప్రూవ్ అయింది. గామి లాంటి సినిమాలో ద రేంజ్ ఆఫ్ క్వాలిటీ వీవ్ సీన్ డెఫినెట్లీ దాంట్లో కనీసం 50% అయినా కానీ ఒక నార్మల్ మిడ్ రేంజ్ ఫిల్మ్స్లోనే ఉండాలని మనం అనుకుంటాం. అండ్ ఆల్సో ద బడ్జెట్స్ ఆర్ రియల్లీ పెద్దగా పెడుతున్నారు. సో ఆ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఖచ్చితంగా మ్యాటర్స్. అండ్ ఆల్సో థియేటర్స్కి జనాలు వెళ్ళట్లేదు. సో వీటన్నిటిని పెట్టుకొని డెఫినెట్లీ క్వాలిటీ తెప్పియాలంటే టైం పడుతుంది. ఐ అగ్రీ ఆన్ దాట్. డెఫినెట్లీ చేయాలా 3 ఫిల్మ్స్ ఖచ్చితంగా ఇయర్లీ అంటే ఇట్ డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ ద స్టోరీ. కంపల్సరీ స్టోరీకి పర్లేదు చేసేయచ్చు. అండ్ ఆల్సో ఇది బాగా వర్కౌట్ అవుతుంది, అది కూడా డెఫినెట్లీ ఉంటుంది. అండ్ ఒకవేళ ఇఫ్ యూ ఆర్ గివింగ్ మీ అన్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ డెఫినెట్లీ టైం పట్టాలి. అండ్ ఐ అగ్రీ విత్ హిమ్ మ్యాన్, సీరియస్లీ. యా.
So there's no rest time for Nani.
The rest time is when I'm shooting.
Really?
Yes, I stress when I'm not shooting. Yeah, I feel tired. Like, for example, I was just telling that I'm dubbing for Hit 3 now. If I'm shooting for 24 hours and if I'm hung on ropes and I'm doing an action sequence, I don't feel tired coming back home. 3 hours in dubbing, I go back home tired. I'm like, okay, we are doing something we have done already,
Okay.
right? There's no excitement
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah.
So just to sit in location and just jam and do something new and keep thinking of
Create.
how you're going to do
Yeah.
it, what should we do? It's extremely exciting. That's my rest time. I think that's meditation for me. Yeah.
Just the challenge of that.
Yeah, just the challenge of that.
You know?
Yeah.
You said something in an interview which I really love. You said you're not afraid of success or failure. What you're afraid of is if you give less than 100% someday and
Yeah.
you're okay with it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
when
that's
Complacency.
it. Yeah.
Complacency.
Yeah.
So what do you do, Nani, that sort of ensures that you're very successful,
Mhm.
right? And it's so easy to get to that point where you don't have to give 100% because people around you will still say,
Correct.
amazing.
Correct. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What do you do to make sure that you don't get to be that hero who gives like whatever 65% and goes home?
Yeah.
Correct.
నాని చెప్పక ముందు ఐ థింక్ ఇఫ్ హీ గివ్స్ అ గ్రేట్ ఆన్సర్ సల్మాన్ ఖాన్ గారు వినండి ప్లీజ్ వినండి.
No, because I think that happens uh, when you get comfortable, when your love for cinema is dominated by your love for yourself. That happens, I feel. And especially I've seen a lot of times what happens is a lot of people, they stop watching the new content or new films, and they stop appreciating great cinema. And they get busy, comfortable with their lives, friends, family, that, this and all that, and they keep listening to what all nice things they, people say about their films. And that is when they think, oh, this is okay, no, right? This is enough, right? I feel we should, if that our love for cinema is intact and we're watching great content, then everything reminds you that you need to work better, and this is not enough. And there's you might have made, there's no point in telling people that 5 years back that film of mine people loved it. No, it's what is done is done. And if you're really updated with what is happening around the world, every Friday in some language or the other in some country, there is some great film coming out. And if you as audience are constantly trying to watch something great and appreciate it, then it will keep reminding you what you need to do. So I think that is what keeps me feeling continuously that this is not enough. This is not enough. I need to push myself. And every film I have done till date, 1 year later, when I try to see something from that film, I feel like I haven't done.
Could have done better.
I could have done better. Is what I feel always. Maybe during the release time, it will feel like, I've done what I should do. But once it's 6 months or 1 year later, every film feels like that, and I think that's a great thing, because that's how it should feel. The moment we start celebrating our own films or start telling people stories about how awesome the film was, I think that is where it will all go down. And I try not to do that. And now after these many films, as of now, I can still feel that that balance intact in me. So my fear is that I don't think that will happen, but still when I see people around me, that's my fear, that someday I shouldn't get comfortable with what I'm doing. It should always bother me that what am I doing? Yeah, it shouldn't be like what. Yeah.
So there's no vanity.
No, I think there is vanity in this itself, is what I feel. It's like, because only when I feel this, there is a hunger, there is something exciting for me every day morning. I wake up with wanting to do something, is what actually makes sense for me, or gives me a comfort within that. The day I don't think like, I don't see a challenge for myself, is when I think will be the most boring day of my life. The day I wake up and I say, I'm arrived. I think that's it. That's it. I'll not know what to do with myself. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, what can you tell us about Paradise?
Paradise, come on.
Paradise is, I don't know if I can say anything, but we're in the prep work right now. We're going to start shoot very soon, and it's a crazy film. In fact, in one of my interviews, I've said oh, somebody asked, oh, I said it's Mad Max. Somebody wrote that it's Mad Max kind of a film. Like the Hollywood Mad Max kind of a film. No, it is not Mad Max kind of film. And everybody copy pasted it.
Yeah.
I meant it's madness in maximum. Okay, is what I meant. Okay, but a lot of people thought it's like, Tollywood's Mad Max or something. It's not. It's a crazy world Srikanth has built, and Srikanth has every filmmaker has different beat points. I feel their energy, how they pitch their scenes, how they extract the emotion out of a particular scene is a very different beat point, and we all are used to different grammars like that through different filmmakers. Srikanth has a very unique one that way, extremely unique beat points. Like the highs come from the most unexpected places, and the way he looks at a particular episode or a scene, I don't think any filmmaker in Telugu will see it like that. They might have their own way of doing it, and which might be good too. But Srikanth came up with Paradise, which I feel is the most. How do I say this? In all my films, or a lot of films I've seen in Telugu so far, I think in theater, the film feeling like a concert and having that mad energy, scene after scene will be Paradise.
Okay.
Yeah, it is that kind of film. I can't reveal anything more than that, but there are a lot of unexpected elements which will make them stand and scream. It's kind of that kind of an energy is trying to crack, and very sensible guy, very with a very original vision, and gives
Original
him
vision,
everything. Once he decides on he wants something, and then he's behind it. Now the whole me working out and stuff, I never thought it's needed in my career. A lot of people used to ask me like, oh, when will you go, work out and do body transformation and stuff like that. I'm like, no, it's needed, no. Okay, is it convincing on screen? No, this guy pushed me to. He said, no, I want it. Okay, so I feel we need these boys around and who will actually see a lot more, potential and things in you and push you to do something. So I think at this point of time, it's just the guy who I needed, and he came up with something absolutely crazy. We're starting shoot soon. Yeah.
And you're going through this body transformation as we speak. Which is why you
ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ శ్రీకాంత్ గురించి ఎప్పుడు మాట్లాడినా కానీ నేను వేరే లెవెల్లో మాట్లాడుతూ ఉంటాడు. డెఫినెట్లీ ఇన్ టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ విజన్, వాట్ ఈస్ ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ కూడా చాలా బాగుంటుంది. దసరాలో బాగుంటుంది. ఒక్క పాయింట్ తర్వాత సినిమా కొంచెం అటు ఇటు వెళ్ళిపోతుంది, బట్ స్టిల్ నాకు సినిమా యాజ్ అ హోల్ చాలా ఎంగేజ్ చేసింది డెఫినెట్లీ. సో ఆయన అన్నట్టుగానే చాలా అన్ఎక్స్పెక్టెడ్ ఏరియాస్లో ఓహో అనే ఫీలింగ్ కూడా వస్తుంది అనమాట. ఇక్కడ పెద్ద ఉరుము పడ్డది. సో లైక్ ఐఎమ్ ఎక్సైటెడ్ ఆన్ దాట్ డెఫినెట్లీ. అండ్ మ్యాడ్ మ్యాక్స్ అంటున్నారు అది వేరే విషయం, కానీ ద పారడైస్ గ్లిమ్స్ అయితే మాత్రం మైండ్ పోయింది నాకు. ఏడ్రా బాబు, నిజంగా వీళ్ళు ఎన్ని బౌండరీస్ దాటేస్తున్నారనే ఫీలింగ్ వచ్చింది. అండ్ ఐఎమ్ ఎక్సైటెడ్ ఫర్ దిస్ డెఫినెట్లీ.
look the way you do.
Correct. Yeah.
And we're assuming
I'm midway actually.
You're midway.
There, yeah.
You're going to get bigger.
Little bigger.
Yeah. So we're assuming that Paradise will be sort of that interval block of Dasra 10 times over.
Okay.
Definitely, yes.
Okay.
100%.
Because
Yeah.
that shot
Interval
was the
mind
one
with
that-
Correct. Oh yeah. That shot.
The headless.
No, I'll not say it in a very different space. You will have those moments very regularly.
Right. What I mean is the jaw drop.
Correct. Jaw
Okay.
drop will be there.
है ना?
Jaw drop is non-stop. Yeah.
Cannot wait.
Yeah.
But after that, he goes on to direct Chiranjeevi Sir, which you will be presenting.
Correct.
And you posted on Instagram that it's sort of life coming a full circle because
Correct.
you grew up on Chiranjeevi
That
Sir's
lane
film.
had maximum his posters.
His
you know.
posters. Yeah, the wall posters were his, right?
Yeah.
Nani, I mean, maybe it's too early, but what are the conversations like you and Shrikant are having right now about how do you handle that larger than life persona? What do you do?
See, I don't want to have that large, Chiranjeevi are larger than life persona. If people start thinking like that, that is when they'll stop understanding why we related so much to him, right?
Okay.
The moment you start, see, for example, in my childhood when I loved Chiranjeevi's films, once we walked into a theater, he became that Raju, he became that whoever,
Exactly,
whichever role he
exactly.
played.
Thank
And
you.
he made us cry, he made us smile, and then there was obviously, exciting fights, that this and all, everything. But the point is the relatability. And I genuinely feel nowadays we are not understanding the power of relatability. Okay, we say
Thank
we do
you.
action films, we do this big spectacles, but a lot of the focus is on the technique, on the score, on the huge action set piece. But when you relate to the people on screen, and when you see an action, it is into 10 times, it works into 10 times. And that used to happen, with the films, in when we used to watch in childhood, we used to forget about everything and we used to be in awe. Now we'll check phones and we'll say we'll like the scene, everything. We are always having a conversation. So I genuinely feel we should bring that back in a now, yeah,
ముఖ్యంగా చిరంజీవి గారి
Chiranjeevi
ఫిల్మ్స్ లో.
is a larger than life image and all that is there. But let's remind them of why we really love him. Okay, and it's just, we don't. A lot of people say Chiranjeevi garu means dance, Chiranjeevi garu means action, Chiranjeevi garu is this, that, and all. More than that, Chiranjeevi garu
Yeah.
is not just that.
Yes.
Chiranjeevi garu is someone we thought is member of our family,
Yeah.
right? And we forgot that. We are like really focusing on something else, Now this Srikanth's madness with that Chiranjeevi garu, I think will be a great comedy. We're trying to crack something like that. So that will be interesting to see, is what I genuinely believe. And it'll be a proud moment. It's an extremely proud moment for me to be able to do that with Srikanth. And after these many years in cinema, and to do, I never actually imagined with production and all that I will do films with Chiranjeevi garu, or in someone of that stature. But it unexpectedly it came to
It
that.
happened.
So I'm happy, and also it's a big responsibility. So I hope we do our best.
Yeah.
అంటే ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ డెఫినెట్లీ ఐ వాంట్ టు టాక్ అబౌట్ ఇట్. డెఫినెట్లీ హీ టోల్డ్ 100%, నిజంగా 100% అట్లానే ఉండాలి. ప్రతిసారి మధ్యలో చూసుకుంటే చిరంజీవి గారు ఇప్పటివరకు మనకి వాటి డాన్సులు కానీ కామెడీ కానీ మన చిరంజీవి గారిని ఇప్పుడు ఎలా చూస్తున్నాము అలానే చూడబోతున్నాం, అంత పెద్దగా చూడబోతున్నాం, ఇంకా గ్రాండ్గా చూడబోతున్నాం. లేదంటే మన పాత సినిమాల్లో ఎలా ఉండబోతున్నాడో దాన్ని మళ్ళీ మేము తీసుకురాబోతున్నాం అన్నట్టు అనిపిస్తుంది. కానీ ప్రీవియస్గా ఉన్న ఫిలిమ్స్ అన్నీ కూడా డాడీ కానీ, వాట్ ఈస్ శంకర్ దాదా ఎంబీబీఎస్ కానీ, దానికంటే ముందు లైక్ రుద్రవీణ, వాట్ ఈస్ స్వయం కృషి, ఇవన్నీ కూడా చిరంజీవి కాదు అక్కడ. హీ వాజ్ ద క్యారెక్టర్, హీ వాజ్ సచ్ అ గ్రేట్ యాక్టర్. సో దాన్ని మనం చూసేసి వి రిలేట్ టు హిమ్. అండ్ ఆల్సో ఆ క్యారెక్టర్ని మనము చిరంజీవి గారిని తప్ప ఇంకెవరిని చూసుకోలేము. నేను ముఖ్యంగా శంకర్ దాదా ఎంబీబీఎస్ నాకు ఎందుకంటే ఇష్టం అంటే, నేను ఉన్నవాళ్ళు చూసాను, వసూల్ దాదా కూడా చూసాను. ఈ రెండింటికంటే నాకు శంకర్ దాదా అనేది చాలా 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 నచ్చింది. అండ్ హీ వాజ్ శంకర్ దాదా. ఇంకెవరైనా మున్నాబాయ్ కొంచెం అటు ఇటు అనిపిస్తుంది, ఆల్వేస్ కమల్ హాసన్ కూడా కొంచెం అటు ఇటు అనిపిస్తుంది. బట్ నాకైతే మాత్రం ఓకే, శంకర్ దాదా అంటే చిరంజీవి గారు గ్యాంగ్స్టర్ నువ్వు నమ్ముతావు. అండ్ ఆల్సో హీస్ ట్రైంగ్ టు కామెడీ నమ్ముతావు. ఆయన క్యారెక్టర్ అది అని మీకు అర్థమైపోతుంది. అట్లాంటి చిరంజీవి కనబడట్లేదు నాకు ముఖ్యంగా. మొన్న కొంచెం నాకు వాల్తేర్ వీరేలా కొంచెం అనిపించింది. బట్ ఇట్ వాజ్ లైక్, అరే నేను అందరి వాళ్ళలో చిరంజీవి గారిని ఎలా చూసానో దీనిలో కూడా అలాగే కొన్ని సిచ్యువేషన్స్ కనబడుతుంది నాకు. ఆల్సో శంకర్ దాదాలో కొంచెం కామెడీ ఎలిమెంట్స్ వీళ్ళు పెట్టారు కదా, దాన్ని వీళ్ళు ఇక్కడ కూడా పెట్టిన ట్రై చేసినారు అనిపించింది తప్ప వాల్తేర్ వీరయ్యలో వాల్తేర్ వీరయ్యని చూడలేదు, నేను చిరంజీవిని చూసిన. అక్కడ నాకు పోయింది ప్రాబ్లం. సో అది కనుక వాళ్ళు తీసుకురాగలిగితే మాత్రం ఐ విల్ బి ఎటర్నల్లీ గ్రేట్ఫుల్ మ్యాన్. సీరియస్లీ ఐ వాంట్ దట్ చిరంజీవి, ప్లీజ్ డు దట్.
Talked about relatability, Nani. The reason you're called natural star is because you're relatable, is because there's no strain in your performance, right? We don't see the effort that
Yeah.
obviously you're making.
Mm.
And you've always said that you're not a method actor. You become the character when it's between action and cut, but you're not immersed into that character 24/7. You're kind of balancing between yourself and the character. What is this art of balancing? How do you do it?
I'll see a lot of times, like I said, if you overthink, I think we'll complicate it.
So you don't overthink.
I don't overthink at all. And the thing is, you cannot. I don't know. At least I can only talk for myself. But I genuinely believe you cannot be in the character for. You cannot be like, for example,
You cannot do
a lot
someone
of
else for
times I
long.
see that I read the script too many times on the set, and I've said it too many times just before going to the shot. It becomes mechanical by the time I get there. So to be in the character, and it's not like we are given positions, we are given lighting, whatever, and there is another actors who need to respond to our conversation. It's not like we are improvising whatever. We are saying what is in the paper itself, or if there is an improvisation, we discuss it before. So there is nothing called, I don't know, method acting. I don't personally don't understand it. Where people say that they become the character and they just stay in the character during the whole period of the film. It might work for few people. I'm sure they have their own point, but I never looked at it like that. And we're all and this is Nani who's coming and then becoming Arjun Sarkar. And I need to understand how Arjun Sarkar is very different from Nani. Only then I can become Arjun Sarkar. I can, in every frame, I can make sure there's no Nani coming in, and then I can say these are the body language, these are the traits of Arjun Sarkar, and I have to constantly, consciously make sure that I am in that body language. It's very easy. Suddenly, I might move my hand in a certain way where I do it in general, right? If I'm constantly not thinking about I should be Arjun Sarkar, then I might fall out of the character.
Yeah, you might slip.
So if I'm constantly having that care, if I'm thinking about it, and while in the shot also I'm thinking what my next move is, I don't know if it's a possibility of someone believing that they are the character. Okay, so that's not the process I follow, and I feel for me a lot of good things happen in shot because I'm open to it. Yeah, and after there's a lot of learning through years. I'll not say what I think, what I thought with my first few films acting is, then I've realized it's not that. And then now what I think acting is, I'm sure in a couple of years I might have a completely different opinion about it.
Yeah.
So it is a process, it's a constant process. So, and what makes it extremely exciting, what makes the balance on is the fact that I don't know is what is making the whole process very exciting. It's all downhill the moment you think about anything. The moment you start thinking that it's all downhill. Whether it's direction, whether it's acting, whether it's production, anything I feel is downhill there.
But Nani, are you one of those actors whose like first 2 takes are the best and then it's kind of diminishing returns, or can you do exactly the same thing over many takes?
I genuinely, I always believe that the first 2 takes will have a certain magic because you haven't said those lines too many times. There will be
energy.
It's unsaid. I don't know how to explain it. Also, there will be a certain niceness,
genuinity
to it when it comes first time. By 5th or 10th take, everything too much.
It's rehearsed.
It's rehearsed well, and everything at what point, at what start, the other person's dialogue, everything. See, when you don't crack 1 or 2, a lot of times you crack the 10th take and it'll be good, but some unexpected magic will only happen in 1 and 2. Yeah, a lot of times we go for the 10th take because of 100 other reasons, but a lot of times also I tell my film directors that if you like the performances in 1 or 2, don't do it for a track, or don't do it for a trolley or some other moment or some lighting problem or something else. More number of takes. You want to do it and keep it. But see it in the edit. Because what really connects to the audience, what really talks to the audience is your writing and the performances. So just because
some gimmicks and everything,
we could have had a smoother movement with trolley, or the pan could be faster. For that reasons, once you like a performance, don't go for a different take, because you can sacrifice that, but you can't sacrifice this.
So it's always emotion over technique.
100%, definitely, any day. The greatest technicians will tell you this.
Bro, seriously, he's an encyclopedia. Like, and చెప్పే అన్ని పర్ఫెక్ట్ కరెక్ట్ పడతాయి. లైక్ పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఎంత పెద్ద లైటింగ్ పెట్టినవా అని ఖచ్చితంగా జనాలు కనబడాలి, వేరే విషయం. కానీ వాట్ ఈస్ గ్రాండియర్నెస్ కంటే మనకి ఏదైతే లైక్ ఇట్లాంటి చిన్న షార్ట్స్ ఉంటాయి, టెక్నికల్ యానిమల్ చూస్తే కూడా మనకి ఎక్కడ సినిమా గ్రాండ్ అనిపించదు. బట్ అంటే లైక్ ఇన్ టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ వాళ్ళు చెప్పేది కూడా చూపెట్టరు అట్లా గ్రాండ్ అని చెప్పేసి. బట్ మనకున్న సీన్సే గ్రాండ్గా అనిపిస్తుంది బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ద పర్ఫార్మెన్స్, బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ద ఇంటెన్సిటీ ఆఫ్ ద సీన్. అది చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఉంటాయి. సో ఐ అగ్రీ మ్యాన్, సీరియస్లీ.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what I also, we did a documentary on Rajamouli.
Yeah.
And this is exactly his thing,
Yeah.
that finally continuity
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It just
That's
doesn't matter.
వీళ్ళ
it's
దానికంటే నాకు
something
RRR ది బాగా
talking to
నచ్చింది.
you through the screen.
Yeah.
And it's not technique. It's emotion.
It is
100%.
emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said something which I found very intriguing. You said that the heroes here, there is a camaraderie and there is a friendship. You said, like, when your film's ka teaser drops, Prabhas will call you and chat
Yeah.
about it. And when actors come from outside, they're actually surprised
Yeah.
to see the relationships.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, how do you maintain these relationships? Because it's a massive industry.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's very competitive.
Yeah.
How do you have a friendship?
See, again, when I say friendship, we are not all,
No, you're not best buddies.
Not,
Sure.
yeah, end
Yeah.
of the day, we all meet up, kind of, not that kind of friends. But again, we are not someone who's like, what do I say? There's no, I think everybody knows everybody, and there's nothing like, there's a,
He's trying
I see
correct word ఎత్తుకుదాం.
I hardly go outside actually, and once or twice when I go to this filmy, gathering or something, I don't see anyone ignoring anyone. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There is no like, okay, that guy is here, this guy. There's nothing like that, and in general, obviously there will be competition when the films release and all that, and if the 2-3 films are releasing together, everybody will wish that their film does better than the other films. But I don't see any negativity or especially in Telugu or
It's not political in that sense.
not at all political. And generally, when I know for sure when my teaser drops or my trailer comes out, by the time I wake up in the morning, I know my phone will have a lot of messages from a lot of friends in cinema, a lot of
Really?
actors. Yeah, they might not go and post it outside, or they might not make a tweet out of it, because then they'll have to do it for everything. I understand that also, but they will make sure that I know that they loved it.
Yeah.
And that's a very good thing. That's all we need in cinema, right? And the moment, now for example, a quote released, and it's such a blockbuster, it's just a film I produced, and the kind of love from industry, from cinema, from actor friends and everyone, the way they have shared things with me. Somebody said something to them about quote, and then they forwarded it to me. All this, I feel like this is as good as it gets, and I'm very extremely happy with that kind of ambience or atmosphere around in Telugu cinema. Yeah.
And it's actually better, because in other cinemas, especially Hindi, they will post it, but inside, no one's actually wishing
Okay.
well.
Oh no, then we are reversed then.
Yes.
We're all good. Yeah. Everybody is very happy that I've done it. But again,
కాంపిటీషన్ డెఫినెట్లీ ఉంటుంది.
it's kind of a responsibility for them, right? Once they do it, like
Of
next time, why
course.
didn't you do it? Somebody will
That's
ask
right.
them. Nowadays, it's all social media. Also, is becoming a big, one kind
It's
of
a
a baggage.
performance.
Everything, yeah, and
Yeah.
everything you say, somebody will have a problem with. Something
right.
somebody. Now you just put out a nice, picture of something beautiful. Somebody has to come and say it is terrible. Right, it's just something. Now, for example, what can be so bad about this cup?
Yeah.
Nothing, right? Okay, it's a cup. We might not comment also, right? What a horrible cup, somebody has to say. Okay, it is just how do after a point you understand that it is the generation, and it is a way of some kind of engagement for them. Yeah. Okay.
అదొకటి అనుకుంటా. అండ్ ఆల్సో పీపుల్ హ్యావ్ డిఫరెంట్ పర్స్పెక్టివ్స్. ఒకటి నచ్చింది, ఇంకొకటి నచ్చదు. మనం ఆబ్జెక్టివ్గా ఉండలేదు. ఎవరికి ప్రతి ఒక్కరికి సబ్జెక్టివ్ ఉంటుంది. సో ఉంటుంది. సోషల్ మీడియా గివ్స్ అస్ దాట్ ఫ్రీడమ్ without showing our faces or being anonymous, I guarantee.
And everything has to be thought about, this right, is that right? So I actually, whatever I see on TV, something on something I like, I immediately tweet off. Initially, I used to think that what is this happening? But now I think I'm like, I did, no matter what, no matter who you are, whatever you're doing, you're the greatest person on the planet. We are in that generation.
Yeah.
So we should be okay with it.
Yeah.
We're getting so much love. And there will be, and through social media only, the love is able to reach us in so many ways.
Yeah.
So when that's happening, this will also happen, right? So it's okay. Yeah. So that's I think I understand why a lot of people will think twice about posting.
Posting,
Yeah,
yes,
all that.
yes,
Yeah,
of
but it
course.
makes sense also. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
You know, you've said that you go to see all your films first day, first show.
Yeah.
Right? At a
Yeah.
multiplex in
Yeah. Now I
Hyderabad.
think that's not a possibility.
Pushpa
No,
two.
no longer.
Yeah.
When did you stop?
No, I didn't stop. I
Acha.
want to go, but
Ah.
I think now
It's going to get too much.
right now there's some heat with watching films in the
Yeah,
first day and stuff like that.
yeah.
But I hope it comes down very soon and actors get to go enjoy the film with fans, because that's what we make films for.
Yeah.
End of the day. And for me, the most exciting thing about working those 9 months or 10 months on a film is to be able to watch the film together with the ones whom we made it for, and then just see them react. And that's such a nice feeling. And I think now we'll be restricted to the multiplex for next few months or a year or whatever. I just hope it returns back to normal.
But
డెఫినెట్లీ ఐ అగ్రీ ఆన్ దట్, చేయాలి, అది కరెక్టే. బట్ ప్రాపర్ ప్రికాషన్స్ అన్ని జాగ్రత్తలు చేసిన తర్వాతనే పోవాలి. లైక్ పుష్ప 2 జరిగింది, అది మామూలుగా జరగలేదు. ఇట్స్ వెరీ వెరీ బిగ్ ట్రాజడీ. దాన్ని మళ్ళీ రిపీట్ చేయొద్దు, అందరూ జాగ్రత్త పట్టాలి. మీరు వాట్ ఈస్ యాక్టర్స్ వాళ్ళందరూ థియేటర్కి రావడం ప్రాబ్లం లేదు, పర్ఫెక్ట్గా చేసుకోవాలి. ఎవరికి ఇబ్బంది రాకుండా, ఆ యాక్టర్కి ఇబ్బంది కావద్దు, జనాలకి ఇబ్బంది కావద్దు, థియేటర్ మేనేజ్మెంట్కి ఇబ్బంది కావద్దు, అందరికీ ఇబ్బంది కాకుండా అలా వచ్చి ఇలా వెళ్ళిపోయినట్టు బాగుండదు అంతే. గుంటూరు కారం బెటర్.
that can also be quite brutal, right?
Yeah.
What's been your best experience of watching your film in the theater, and what's been the worst?
There's no worst experience at all, because I've enjoyed the films which didn't do well also, because it's not about if it's about, like, for example, if there's an artist and he painted that, okay, when you call someone, you call all your friends and you wanted to show it off, it is such a high to just open that curtain and show them I've done this. It's later they might say 100 things about it. For me, the experience has always been very, very special. Whether the film was a blockbuster or a hit or it didn't do well, or it doesn't matter. I am so excited. I have butterflies when I'm going to the theater, and I want to see them react to each and every scene. So best experience, I think, was the Dasra, Saripoda Sinivaram, all these films I went to, Sudarshan 35, where it was madness. It's crazy. But best experience, I have to say, will be Jersey re-release.
Bro.
5 years later, it re-released, and me, Gautam, we all went to Sudarshan main theater, and it's a 800-seater or 700-seater, I think. It's a full packed theater, and me and my son. He's watching Jersey for the first time. It's a 5-year, and he was 6 then, and he's sitting next to me, and there's a lot of fans, and there's a lot of screaming and cheering, and all that was there. We were seeing the film, and there was this scene before the interval where Ronit on screen does that to me, right? Entire theater stood and turned towards us and did that in front of my son. So that was my Jersey moment. Okay, that was the greatest moment for me. So everyone together, like a stadium, they did that. And my son was not understanding why they all turned back, and he looked at me.
That was a magical moment.
I remember that look, and I think that was the moment for me. I'll
How
never
lovely.
forget. Yeah.
Oh, how lovely.
Yeah.
I mean, that just makes everything worth it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Nothing else. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't. And listen, speaking of re-releases, Yevade Subramaniam just re-released.
Yeah.
Right? I
Great
mean,
movie.
that's one of my favorite films
Yeah,
of yours,
mine too,
and
yeah.
so many other people.
Yeah.
You saw it again with Vijay Devarkonda.
Yeah.
What was that experience like?
It was so good catching up, because that team especially is a very close to heart for me, because of the experience of making that film. I don't think with any other film I would have gone through so much of ups and downs, and like, will we finish the film? We are going to Himalayas to shoot. There's no other Indian film which shot in
Base camp. And stuff.
yeah. And just going with some basic things, not much of a planning. We don't know where we are heading. We haven't been there before. We're just crossing things, and everywhere.
And Nag Ashwin is a first-time director.
First-time director, and extremely, what do I say? He's not practical at all.
He's a dreamer.
He's a dreamer. He
Yeah.
will think that it'll happen, and it'll actually happen.
And it does.
It'll actually
yes.
happen. But someone who's practical, everything is a question, right? Like, what are we going to do this? Will it happen? And then we are going, and everywhere we reach 2 days delayed. So everywhere we reached, our rooms are gone, our rooms are taken, which are the cottages or small thing. We have to make an alternate plan to, stay or eat everything. So even how we shot the whole first half here in Hyderabad with Vijay, Malvika, everyone, that's such a fun experience, that film. And that, for example, not every film we remember all the ADs or each person who worked on the film. Every Subramaniam, we know everyone by the name, and to see all of them after these many years, and to catch up with all of them and to watch it again. Now Nagi is,
One of the biggest
after
directors.
Mahanati, Kalki, and then Vijay doing so many films and being loved so much. Now all of us together watching the same film, now it's an absolutely different experience. Now it's 10 years before and 10 years later.
Yeah.
We're all sitting now, and then we all have our filmographies on a different, point. And then we watching it and we're thinking, there might be a lot of things we might be thinking, why did I do this like this? Okay, all that is put aside.
Yeah.
It's such a wonderful experience, and Swapna planned this whole thing like a party.
Yeah.
Okay, with everyone, and we played the film, and wherever somebody has a memory to share, we pause the film. They can lift their hand, we'll pause the film there, and they'll be given a mic and they can share things. So it was such a fun experience, and Swapna was forwarding me all the. She went to a couple of theaters and then she recorded stuff and all that. She was forwarding me the clips, and them cheering and rooting for all the little things which on the release date didn't happen. Okay, and then now they're them cheering for all the little things. It felt like, see, a good cinema, I think, will get its full due. At that time also it was a hit.
Yeah.
But now it's a lot more celebrated, so I was very happy to see that there.
And it's also, I think, so many people have discovered it who are not just Telugu speakers, all of us outside,
Over time,
Also over time, because we loved what Nagi's done with other films, we went back to the first one, and it's such a lovely film. And those emotions and those life lessons will hold.
That is exactly Nagi. That is
Krishnamuraj
everything about Evade Subramaniam is what Nagi is. Yeah.
He's Rishi, basically.
He is. He wanted to say that message clear and loud, that come on. Now I remember that one line from the film. What most important, if we can take back something from Evade Subramaniam, is about Krishnamuraj Garu, who played a role in the film. He says that he asks my character, he says, will you do the same job if I give you as much money as you want? Then I say, if I have as much money as I want, why would I do this job? And he says, I would do the same thing. And
which is why he doesn't sell.
Correct. Which is why he doesn't sell.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking how when he wrote that script and I was shooting that scene, I remember while he was saying that line, I was thinking in my heart, how lucky am I chose cinema. Because no matter what you give me, I will want to keep doing cinema. It is not about you give me 10,000 crores, I'll go chill somewhere. No, I will work in the same way. I'll wake up same time. My working hours will be same, and this will be the most important thing. So I feel that it's such a strong thing everyone should know right now, because when you do something you really love, only then life is worth all this drama. Right? Otherwise you cannot go through all that and every day go do something which you're not liking. I felt like that is something which is really needed to be said.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you can't even chill for 2 days, so
Exactly.
Unlikely that you're going to ever do anything else, and that's a good thing because we need you. Nani, thank you so much.
You.
And I cannot wait to see HIT or HIT, whatever the right...
HIT, 3, hit 3.
How would you like it to be said?
Hit 3.
Hit 3.
Easier, because most people are calling it hit 3.
Hit
so
3.
let's go with that.
Let's go with that. Okay, thank you so much.
I'm not sure. I hope you'll excuse our violence, but but I would look forward to know how you like the film.
Listen, I just do the eye shutting. You know how you squeeze your eyes thoda sa?
Oh, that's it. Huh?
So then the full impact
Then
doesn't
okay,
come.
then okay, yeah.
You know?
And then you can manage most of it, I think.
I will report back.
Yeah, yes, please. I will look
Thank
forward to
you.
it. Yeah, and please
Thank
watch Court whenever you.
I will,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I'll ask my team to coordinate if you
I
can
would love
watch it when you're in Hyderabad. That'll be great. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
movie. And man, seriously, such a great interview because it's Nani's. And like definitely Anupama Chopra is one of the what is a good interviews. Definitely చాలా బాగా చేస్తామే. And నాని గారి ఏ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ చూసినా కానీ ఖచ్చితంగా ఇట్ విల్ హ్యావ్ సమ్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ మ్యాజిక్. నాకు చాలా ఇష్టమైన ఇంటర్వ్యూస్ చూస్తుంటాయి. ఈవెన్ విత్ బ్యారీ కానీ అంటే భరద్వాజ్ రంగన్ గారితో కానీ ఎవరితో అయినా కానీ హీల్ క్రియేట్ దట్ మ్యాజిక్ ఇన్ ద ఇంటర్వ్యూ. హీస్ హిమ్సెల్ఫ్. అంటే లైక్ ఏదో కొత్తగా ఏదో క్రియేట్ చేస్తున్నా లైక్ ఏదో సంథింగ్ హీస్ పర్ఫార్మింగ్ అలా అనిపించదు. హీస్ హిమ్సెల్ఫ్. అండ్ అది మనకి ఇంటర్వ్యూస్ ఇంకా బాగా తెలుస్తుంది. నాకు చాలా ఇష్టం అట్లాంటివి. అండ్ ఇందులో కూడా చాలా అలానే ఉన్నాయి. అండ్ హిట్ 3 ప్యారడైజ్ కంటే వాట్ హీ థింక్స్ అనేది ఇంకా చాలా ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది. ఈవెన్ వేరే ఫిల్మ్ ప్రమోషన్ ఇంటర్వ్యూస్ కూడా అలానే ఉంటాయి. అండ్ ఐఎమ్ రియలీ హ్యాపీ టు సే చాలా బాగుంది ఇంటర్వ్యూ. అండ్ మీకే అనిపించింది కింద కామెంట్స్లో చెప్పండి. లైన్కి చాలా లెంత్ ఎక్కువైపోయింది నా ఫీలింగ్ ఉంది. సో మ్యాన్ సీరియస్లీ మధ్యలో నేను చెప్పి ఆపితే మాత్రం ఏంట్రా అనే ఫీలింగ్ అనిపిస్తే చెప్పాను కింద కామెంట్స్లో ఎక్కడెక్కడ ఆపాలి ఎక్కడెక్కడ ఆపొద్దు అని చెప్పేసి. అండ్ హ్యాపీ. ప్లీజ్ సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేసేసేయండి నచ్చితే మాత్రం. అండ్ ఇంకా చాలా వీడియోతో వస్తా. సో నెక్స్ట్ వీడియోతో మళ్ళీ కలుస్తా. మ్యాన్ ఫిక్షన్ సైనింగ్ ఆఫ్. బాయ్.